Hello, welcome back to our tcapa commentary. So today we're gonna do Clifford Wallach, Horrible Father Predator. So, I haven't recorded a video in a super long time, but I'm excited, right? I'm excited. So, everyone knows who Clifford Wallach, whatever, however you say his name. Everybody knows what this guy, what he did, right? He is a horrible father. I dare to say it right. Anyway, so yeah, you've heard of him. Most likely I have too. I haven't seen his segment. I do know that it's very short though. I know he doesn't get an interview, but I don't know what exactly Chris is gonna say, right? We're in the Predator Raw, so we're gonna get more information than typical. We would. So yeah, we're gonna get started. If you like tcap and police investigations or interrogations, check out that channel. I have a lot of videos. And yeah, let's just get started.
Hey, Bill, get your mic turned on. Can't hear you.
It was Sunday afternoon, and we had one more man who was going to show up.
Can't hear ya.
And he was coming over to meet a 14-year-old boy. And I believe we had a description of his car. So we see it pull up, and it's an SUV.
He's in the driveway, Dell, but I can't hear you coming back at me. He's backing out.
Arizona?
He's backing out of the driveway. He's backing out of the driveway. Yeah, looks like he's gonna park on the street. Can you hear me, Dell?
He gets out and goes to the rear passenger side, and we think maybe he's gonna get beer, pizza, stuff that we see these guys bring all the time.
Pizza?
Instead, he grabs the hand of his 5-year-old son and leads him out of the car and up the driveway. And I hear Frag say,
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no, it's right. So, Clifford Wallach, 42 years old, aka Photo Pics. So, yeah, so we are here at this moment. Everyone knows Clifford brought his child with him. I usually try to be accurate in these videos with my look. And I just want to tell a little story. Just a little story. I was in the middle of class. I was in the middle of biology class, and I'm just thinking about my videos. I'm like, what would be very funny? Is if I do Clifford Wallach as a video, and I bring also my child to work day. Anyway, so yeah, this is Junior. Yeah. Anyway.
He brought his
such a
son
stupid
with him.
idea, but I thought it would be funny.
He's got his child with him.
apparently, the mother of the child, his wife, was working that day. He was in charge of the child and figured he'd just bring him along. And there was a collective gasp that you could hear in the house.
He's going up to the front door, and he has his child with him.
Go around to the back. This door doesn't open.
Okay.
He's one of these guys who had a very short online chat, but then on the phone is graphic about what he wants to do.
That's really bad.
And he has this conversation with Dell, who's...
oh my god, I cannot believe it. Well, I can, actually, because I know that this happened, but it's just, I just don't know what the plan was. What do you mean? Obviously the kid is not going to be there, but is it really that bad? Not this. Is it really, is your urges that bad for you to bring your child? Man, come on. I know Chris said that, the mother couldn't have the kid or whatever, so he had to bring him along. What a horrible father. I keep saying it, but that's all I can say, right?
Oh, man. The 14-year-old boy.
Making the turn. Coming in the back door. Coming through. Walking into the living room, holler up.
And so I'm thinking, all right, how do I handle this? And so he comes in, he's got the kid by the hand, and I walk out, and he's startled. I gotta tell you something, and I'm gonna tell you just straight up right now. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Okay.
We're doing a story on adults eating children, and since you have your child here, I'm not going to pursue this.
Okay.
But I think you know what you were doing here, don't you?
No, I was just doing the some blues.
Take a boy out to lunch you met on the internet.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
My point is, because your child is here, I think it'd be best if you...
Y'all thought I really, I haven't uploaded a video in so long. Y'all think I got rusty, right? And this is gonna be a test. I'm pretty sure Raw Knight was behind Chris Hansen in this moment, right? If he didn't, then damn, I've
And
lost
since you have
it.
your child here, I'm not going to pursue this.
Okay.
But I think you know what
I
you were
think
doing
so.
here, don't you?
No, I was just doing the
Come on, please.
Take a boy out to lunch.
Oh man, I knew I didn't lose it, right? I knew I had it in me, right? For a second, I was questioning myself, but I should have known, man. My my Raw Knight radar, man, is always on point, right? Raw Knight, the RKR, right? Always on point. There's never a misbeat, right? There he is.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
My point is, because
Dude, I'm
your
sorry.
child is
Shut up,
here,
man.
I think it'd be best if you just went ahead and left.
Yeah, I agree. I'm never gonna do this again.
I know some people question what he said there. He said he's never gonna do this again, just so y'all know.
And of course, Frag is talking to the police saying, you know,
Frag.
this has got to be a different sort of arrest.
Rob, we're gonna send this guy out. We're not gonna interview him because he got his kid.
Sir, right there. You come here. You come here. Let go of the child.
As gently as the female officer
Oh, man.
scooped him up, he still had to see his father.
His father.
Please give me my son, please.
Don't even start. Oh, I've seen this clip so many times on the internet, right? On the web, on the cyber. I cannot believe that Clifford Wallach even tried to be a caring father in this moment. Like, how is it that now all of a sudden you care about your kid when you brought him into a place that, you know, he shouldn't be? For many reasons. I cannot believe it. Can you give me back my son? No. You know, this is why I'm a model father here, right? I would never do this to my child. I would never, right? I just still can't believe I had this dumb idea in the middle of class. But it's a banger, isn't it? Like, let me tell you, right? This deserves a like, by the way. Like the video right now. Anyway. Yeah, it is really sad that, you know, the unnamed child, first of all. Listen, let me tell you, I'm a married man. No, I'm not, but I'm not. But anyway, so, like, I just can't, I can't focus on the kid right now. I'm being distracted by a certain something. Whew, so, you know, right there, the eye contact is crazy. It's like, man, like, father, why have you done this to me, right? That's what the kid's saying. Probably. And Clifford's like, I'm sorry, little one. Don't be sorry. You're going to jail, right? You're going to jail.
Scooped him up. He still had to see his father get arrested.
His father.
Please give me my son, please.
Please. Oh, he said, please. Oh, give the kid back, or give the kid.
Please have my son, please.
Did somebody get the car seat out of his vehicle?
You got to remember that these guys who work with me on these investigations have done other investigations with me in some of the darkest parts of the world and exposed some of the most tragic things you can see happen to kids and people.
Yeah, this is tragic right here.
And they were just blown away. I mean, some of these guys were in tears.
Seatbelt on, buddy. You got to go for a 2-minute ride, okay?
Based upon his interview with police, the chat log, and everything else, it doesn't seem like he was going to involve the child in any sex act. It seemed
Thank
like
the Lord,
he
by
was
the
gonna
way.
set the kid up in a room with a DVD.
Like that, I need, you know, maybe I'm just too innocent out here, right? I never thought of that being a possibility that, you know, he would have brought the kid into whatever he planned on doing in the house, which that would have been absolutely out of this world. Which, by the way, it does happen, which is the nastiest part of knowing about this kind of stuff, because parents do this, and it is just horrifying. But I never thought that would have been the case, and here is hoping that wasn't what he was planning. But luckily, right, Chris Hansen was there to stop the whole thing. And I gotta also mention the crew, right? Like, Chris Hansen himself isn't the one like doing everything. Is literally just the host. But yeah, the police are in the investigation. All of perverted justice, right? Which, by the way, I'm like here or there. I'm pretty sure perverted justice is like over. I'm pretty sure they disbanded and all that. But anyway, yeah, I'm just glad that there were no talks of the kid being involved into the thing. which that would have definitely been, you know, something to really reconsider. I mean, consider in the court case, you know what I mean? Because it's like, at that point, that was like real child endangerment, like in 2 counts, right? In a sense, I think. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, obviously.
He was going to set the kid up in a room with a DVD and go do whatever he was going to do with this, you know, 14-year-old. During his interview with police, he suggested that it was the lack of intimacy in his marriage that drove him to do it. There was a state investigation to see if the boy in any way had been abused. Pending that.
Okay, let me stop Chris right there in his tracks, right? Chris, give me a second, right? Junior, you don't have to learn any about this, right? I'll let my kid get out of the room, right? What I'm about to say is crazy. I'm kidding, but anyway, you know. I just want you to know I make the possums after the video, so if I forget, it's gonna be the most schizophrenic thing I've ever done. I just have to remember. But anyway, I will remember, obviously. I edit the videos, but I cannot believe he really decided to go, yeah, you know what, the reason why I did this, police officers, right, detectives, is because my woman doesn't give out enough fucking tail, right? She does not give enough tail. That's why I'm out here doing this, right? I cannot believe he really went that route. It's not uncommon. We have heard that be the case so many times with other guys, especially when it's... They usually say this when they're being interrogated by police, but Chris Hansen has also heard, you know, that before. But he goes from that... Chris Hansen goes from saying that's what he was saying as an excuse. He goes from that to then say that they are, you know, doing studies. They're investigating if the kid was ever abused in any way, which, you know, I don't believe that was ever the case. And if it was, I haven't heard about it, which is surprising. I would have thought I would have heard about the kid also being, you know, abused and shit, but I need to stop cursing. I don't know. I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous, right? I'm sorry. Anyway.
Relatives have told us that at first the boy was living with the mother, then the boy went to go live with other relatives because the mother took the father back in.
Oh my God.
And that was the situation.
Photo figs.
I just can't believe that essentially the mother had the kid, then the Clifford went back into the picture, and then the kid started living with other people. That is super concerning, by the way. You're telling me that with the guy moving in, the kid had to go other places? Like, what? I just don't understand. And it's also not worrying, but it is something of note to mention is that this kid is an adult now, probably. And I just wonder how this has affected him. Like, he must know. There's no way you don't know this happened. You know what I mean? Like, either you actually remember this happening when you were a kid, or you heard about it. Like, TCAP is worldwide out here. Like, there's people that don't watch it, but there's people that find out about it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure the kid's living situation changed. I'm sure people told him about it when he was growing up. I'm sure of it. You know how family can be, you know, very dramatic sometimes. Not dramatic, but there's drama-filled thing where it's like they mention that the kid's father did this or whatever. I think that this kid is definitely aware of this situation, and I just wonder how he is doing.
Clifford Wallach.
I don't... if this guy if the kid gets doxxed, people try to find him, then that's just not fun. It's obvious that only the kid himself could come forward and tell us how he was. But I'm good with or without that information.
Wallach. Photofigs, Clifford Wallach. Photofix was a fast mover. At 2:24 in the afternoon, he started chatting online with a decoy posing as a 14-year-old boy.
That's him?
At 3:57, he was parking in front of online in the afternoon.
He slimmed down.
He started chatting online with a decoy posing as a 14-year-old boy. At 3:57, he was parking in front of our home. Wallach actually blames his wife, the woman who's working at a high-end retail store an hour away. He blames his wife because she, he says,
doesn't give it out
in the interrogation, won't have oral sex with him. So he's got to drive across town.
I think that is worse. Bro says she's not giving no blank, right? She's not blanking me, right? She wouldn't want to wrap her blank around my blank, right? But anyway.
And try to hook up with a 14-year-old boy or someone he thinks is a 14-year-old boy. It is absolutely one of the most outrageous things in a long list of outrageous events I have witnessed covering this story.
Yeah, that is.
It is absolutely
out there.
Among the most, if not.
Says Clifford Eric Wallach was arrested during the Fort Myers, Florida sting on April 23rd, 2006. After soliciting sex from a decoy posing as a 14-year-old boy, he decided to take his case to trial. On January 28, 2008, Wallach was convicted of both counts of attempted lewd or lascivious battery and child abuse. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison, followed by 10 years of probation. He must register as a sex offender for life. He was released from prison on February 9th, which is my birthday, by the way, on 2012. I would have been 10. I would have been 10 here, right? 10 years old.
The most outrageous thing I've ever seen in 17 years of investigating predators. This child would have to live outside of the home, away from his mother, because she wanted to stay with him after what he did. And ultimately, she went on to have another child with Clifford Wallach.
No!
And still, the son had to live at the residence of relatives.
Oh my god, this has just gotten worse. So even after the guy was caught on TV doing this, right, the wife decides, you know what, I don't care about my son, right? I don't care about my existing son. I'm just going to keep the guy. I'm going to keep Clifford around and then also have another child with him is crazy. I just cannot believe the guy is a full-on sex offender, by the way. First of all, how is that possible? But I know obviously they can do whatever they want. They have autonomy, sadly. But how is it that you are a registered, SO and you have a child with you? Like, I just don't know how that works. Maybe Chris will tell me, but anyway, I have to read the rest of this. In 2014, Wallach sued a company for unpaid wages. The parties decided to settle the matter for $18,000 and $500.
Wallach terminated his parental rights for his son. Wallach served his 5 years in the Florida state prison system and then served another 10 years probation. He's not on probation anymore, but he remains on the sex offender registry list for the rest of his life. He is still married to the wife he had at the time of the offense.
I just cannot believe this. God, man, that is horrible. Well, I already have this pulled up. Let me drop a like, right? Capasso, thank you so much, right? For the video, right? Thank you. I'm gonna write a thank you so much. There you go. So dumb. Anyway, why am I still here, right? Just a suffer. Anyway, so Clifford Wallach, please give me my son, please. I didn't do nothing wrong. I was just trying to take a kid to lunch. I can't feel my hands, please. Man, shut the blank up, right? I don't want to hear it, right? Clifford while being arrested. So Clifford, also this is a TCAP wiki if you're not aware. Clifford Eric Wallach is a suspected predator featured in the Fort Myers, Florida investigation of To Catch a Predator. He is infamous for showing up to Stinghouse with his 5-year-old son. So his aliases, photo pics, Jason. I don't know why. He has 2 sons. Obviously, we know now that he has 2 kids. A former construction worker. He's divorced. What? I thought, Chris, you lied to me. Obviously, the video was probably, I mean, that podcast from Chris was probably done before this has happened, but, I'm sure we'll find out. He's male, he's 5'6", extra short, 291. My God, right? You are a big guy. Anyway, eye color blue, hair color brown. So, Clifford Eric Wallach started an internet conversation with a perverted justice decoy who was a 14-year-old boy named Tony. He lied about his name, claiming to be Jason. Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah. Throughout the conversation, Wallach said he wanted to have fun with whatever, and only mentioned having fun repeatedly with the boy and wanting to meet and see what happens soon after. Happens. Soon after, Wallach preferred to speak with the decoy over the phone. They stopped talking online for 30 minutes, and Clifford started a voice conversation with Del Harvey, the person posing as a teenage boy. He revealed his true motivations over the phone, stating that he desired giving and receiving oral sex with the boy. When Wallach arrived at the Sting house, he proceeded to his car's back seat to let his 5-year-old son out. His wife was at work and he had to watch him for the day. Frag exclaimed, "Oh no," and told the other people in the house that he had brought his kid along. Later, Chris Hansen reported that some of the people were crying. What? It was that bad? Like, obviously you heard me. I didn't shed a tear over this, but I can understand why. Like, it is definitely, it's a really bad situation. It's shocking, dare I say. Due to the shocking circumstances and the fact that a real child was involved, Hansen came out right away and informed Clifford that he was a part of a sting. Hansen stated that he wouldn't pursue anything because his child was involved, but mentioned that Wallach knew why he was at the house. Wallach claimed he was just taking out the boy for lunch. Hansen repeated that he wouldn't pursue anything, asked him to leave. Wallach agreed and said that he would never do it again. So for the arrest, instead of being tackled when he left the house like many of the men in the Fort Myers investigation, the officers told Wallach to remain where he was. While he was being arrested, the cops took his child away. Clifford would then start crying and declare that he needed his son and couldn't feel his hands. The police then contacted the child's mother so she can pick him up. Hansen claimed that Wallach told the police during his interview that he wasn't going to engage in any sex acts with the child. Instead, he was going to place the child in a separate room to watch a movie. Hansen further claimed that Wallach told police that he wanted oral sex from a teenage boy, since his wife would not perform it on him. After his arrest, this is the aftermath. After his arrest, Wallach's son was taken from him and his wife. Wallach's wife decided to stick with him during his criminal proceedings, and their child was placed with other guardians. Wallach was charged with 2 felonies: attempted lewd and lascivious battery with the victim 12 to 15 years of age, and child neglect. Trial. Wallach made the decision to go to trial by jury rather than enter a guilty plea. Del Harvey and another member of Perverted Justice, Don Pedro, flew to Fort Myers to testify against Wallach. The trial took a day and a half. Francine Donnarumma, an assistant state attorney, presented a recording of the phone call between Wallach and the decoy during the trial. She remarked that the evidence of his desire to have sex with the child that day was evidence in Wallach's in Wallach's sexually explicit phone call and his request about the boy's parents' whereabouts. Donnarumma told the jury during her closing argument that Wallach's crime were captured on film and backed up by testimony. She stated that Wallach placed his son in danger and attempted to have sex with a young teenager. Arthur Brand, the defense counsel for Wallach, argued that the jury was being told to act as though thought police, mentioning they were being intentionally placed at that level. Which what does that even mean, by the way? Brand asserted that his client had no desire to engage in sexual activity with the teenage boy he had encountered online. Brand further claimed that Wallach had fantasies about younger-looking men, that he had only wished to take the teenage boy and his son to McDonald's. Brand asserted that Wallach had a fantasy, but denied his client had any sexual interest in children, and he further told the jurors that it was not against the law to have a fantasy, which I don't know, because in this case it really is. So now we're at sentencing. On November 15, 2007, The jurors deliberated more than 4 hours before finding Wallach guilty against both charges he was facing, which, why would it take 4 hours? What are you on about? On January 28, 2008, Wallach was sentenced to 5 years in prison, the harshest sentence for any of the predators caught in the Fort Myers sting, which, yeah, it definitely is a lot bigger than usual sentences, at least in tcap. At least back then. Back then, it was like a slap on the wrist. I don't know about it now, right? Because Chris Hansen is still actively, doing these sting operations, right, on his new website. Post-predator activities. Wallach was released from prison on February 9th, 2012, on my birthday. He worked in information technology and had another son with his wife. In July 2020, Wallach shared his perspective about his conviction on the Florida Action Committee website. I was also entrapped by a sting in 06. Shut up, man. What are you on? Like, people that always use the entrapment thing just need to really stop. It's not going to give you any, like, brownie points to know that, I was a trap. No, you weren't. I was made an example of from the state. Out of 36 people arrested, I was one of the few that went to prison. My mistake was hiring a lawyer that wasn't part of the good old boys club in Fort Myers. I lost everything after prison. My children, my family, and everything I owned was gone. To this day, 15 years later, I am still suffering. No one will hire me, and I feel stuck in this state. The prison was a nightmare. Being abused by the DOC police was worse than the abuse I took from other inmates. They kept moving me from camp to camp until finally I was able to be placed at a protective custody camp. The whole ordeal was a nightmare. Not only was I entrapped, but since this was done by a vigilante group and Dayline NBC, it was run over and over again, especially during my trial. I ran out of money during my appeal and suffered. Since being released, I have held few jobs until they found out about my prison stay by the vigilante group and subsequently fired. If there was a way to go after the state and all of the money makers in prison sting industry, count me in. So if there was a way to go after the people that caught him, which is stupid as hell, but anyway, aftermath. Wallach would later divorce his wife and move to Florida to upstate New York in 2021, which I don't know how you can move to New York after that. I mean, it is an expensive place. This happened recently too, during the pandemic. Well, maybe that's why he moved there. It was probably cheaper. I don't know. Anyway, Wallach was categorized as a tier 2 sex offender, and in indicating he had moderate risk of reoffending, and was required to register his status with law enforcement every 6 months. 6 months. It's not as bad as others. I've seen people go a month or 2 months. Wallach was also designated as a sexually violent offender on the New York State Sex Offender Registry, meaning he was mandated to continually update his status with law enforcement for the rest of his life. In late 2023, Wallach moved from upstate New York to Connecticut. Oh man, Connecticut. We love Connecticut out here, right? Obviously from the other things. Trivia post-predator activities. Verification recordings were done by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and not Predator Justice, so the audio is not available on their website. Oh, on their site. Huh. Interesting. Oh man, these guys, they make me mad. Anyway, so that was Clifford Wallach. Thank you for watching. It's been a while since I've done these videos, and I'll explain a little bit more. I really enjoy, at some moments, I just really enjoy making police, what is it called? Interrogations. Like the one I did for Paul Westwood was very fun to do. The one for James Rutherford was also very fun to do. And I have another one lined up. I don't know when I'm gonna make it, when I'm gonna drop it, whatever. But I'm still gonna. And also, just so you guys that really like my commentary videos, I won't stop commentary videos until I finish every single predator that was caught in tcap. So yeah, just rest assured that I will make a video on everybody, right? But yeah, if you have recommendations on who I should do next, leave it in the comments, please. I'm glad to be recording again, right? It's fun, right? I'm able to yap away, right? On a Friday, not even a night, it's the afternoon. But anyway, thank you for watching so much. Here's hoping to, have other videos up soon enough, and, police interrogations as well to go up. And yeah, thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye.